Have you ever been in a situation where there seemed to be no way out? Everything is going along just fine when all of a sudden a storm cloud comes along and rains on your parade, and insurmountable obstacles seem to be growing worse by the minute, and you find yourself wondering what to do. Well, I have an old time solution for you today. Hi, I'm John Kuert, the pastor at Alpha Assembly in Clarion, Pennsylvania, bringing to you another heart to heart talk. And I hope that it will be a blessing to you. These messages that I'm bringing each and every day are intended to come from my heart, and I hope they touch yours and bless your life. Believe me, there have been many, many times in my 50 plus years of pastoring, plus doing many, many trips overseas on missions trips. I've probably been in over 40 countries. There have been many times when there were situations that just seemed absolutely impossible. And sometimes there were situations, there were problems that just piled up more and more and more, and it just seemed like there was no way out, no way around it, no way over it, no way through it. But you know what? We learned, my wife and I have learned to pray and really seek God. That's the old time solution. And in Acts chapter 12, we find the story of how God took a hopeless situation and turned it around. It was done by the power of prayer, the kind of prayer that storms the throne of God and gets an answer. Peter, the lead apostle, was in prison, scheduled for execution. Though all the doors were closed, one remained open. That was the door of prayer. The church recognized that and prayed and prayed and prayed, and Peter was delivered miraculously. Prayer was then and is the church's secret weapon. Although the devil struck a blow against the early church and against the church down through the centuries, the church has always gained victory through prayer. And when I say the church, I just don't mean the church at large, but you are a part of the church. You who have accepted Christ, you who are trying to follow him and be his disciple, you are the church. You are a part of the church. And that option is right there for you to take a hold of, the power of prayer. But sadly enough, we don't pray very often. After all is said and done, I think more is said than done. And yet it is essential that Christians learn more about effective prayer, because we will face difficulties. We will face hardships. We will face problems. And we won't know which way to turn. Well, let me tell you, folks, it's always the best thing to turn upward and come before God's throne of grace, where he invites us to come. Just think about that. We have an open invitation to come before the God who created this universe, who created you and me, who has all power, who is omnipotent and all knowledge, omniscient, and he's everywhere. And so he's right there where you are. And so we need to discover what God can do through the power of prayer. I know we've heard about it, we've read about it many times, but I don't want to just hear about it and read about it. I want it to happen in my life. I know it has happened in my life and in the churches where I've pastored, and we've seen many, many things, but we want to continue to see them. It's not just, oh, let it happen just one time or a few times in the past, and then we can just move on. No, I believe it should be an ongoing thing where the power of prayer comes into play when we are facing situations that are difficult, way more than what we could even try to overcome. If only we could get a hold of God in prayer, I believe we could see more miracles, just like the early church. When we saw Peter delivered miraculously, the angel led him out, and he came to the place where the other disciples were praying for him. And it's one of the cute, or I guess funny situations when the young girl opens the window or the shutter on the door and sees it's Peter, and she just leaves him standing there, shuts the the, the door, and runs back and says it's Peter. And I can imagine Peter just standing there, and amazed. But at any rate, he was delivered from a horrible death, and lived a life. Eventually, he was crucified upside down. But in the meantime, God used Peter in a great way. And he can use us. And one of the ways he can use us all is through the power of prayer. Well, God bless you. Again, my name is John Kuert, the pastor at Alpha Assembly, 499 Grand Avenue Extension in Clarion, Pennsylvania, just about a mile down from the campus of Clarion University. We'd love to have you visit us at one of our services on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. And I always say Sundays at Alpha Assembly will make a difference in your week. And so God bless you today. Have a great one, and we'll, Lord willing, see you again soon. Bye.